Today, we're in the very first book of the Old Testament, Genesis. God made our amazing world, but sin entered the world. People turned away from God and went their own way.
So God picked one man, a guy named Abraham. And even though Abraham was like 90 years old and had no kids, God told him to look up. God promised Abraham he'd have more kids than stars in the sky.
Yeah, and the whole entire world will be blessed through Abraham's family.
But Abraham and his wife, Sarah, they waited for years and years, and they still didn't have kids.
Which is where our story starts.
We're ready.
Hey everyone, I'm Brian. It's amazing how all of creation can talk to us about God. You know, after God told Abraham that he and Sarah would have more kids than there are stars, I bet they went outside at night a lot more.
More children than all those stars? Are you sure that's what God said?
He promised. He said, we'll have a son.
God's promise was clear, but Abraham and Sarah spent years staring up at those stars, waiting and wondering. They were both old, like old enough to be great-grandparents. Could they really have a brand new baby at their age? But at last, one day when Abraham was 99 years old, God met with him again. It was the very hottest part of the day, and Abraham was sitting in the shade of his tent when he saw three strangers approaching. Abraham knew right away they were visitors from heaven. He went to greet them and bowed low to show them honor.
My Lord, if you are pleased with me, don't pass me by. Let me get some water so you can wash your feet and rest under this tree. Let me get you some food to give you strength, and then you can go on your way.
All right, do as you say.
Now, making a fancy meal back then was a lot more than just heating something up in the microwave. Abraham found Sarah in the tent and asked her to bake bread. And then he picked the best calf from his herd and asked a servant to prepare it.
Here is some stew and a fresh loaf. My wife makes the best bread in the whole land.
Where is your wife, Sarah?
Over there in the tent.
Now, you had better bet that Sarah was listening in on this conversation. I mean, here are three strangers out of nowhere who Abraham believes are from God. I mean, she definitely wanted to know what was up.
I will surely return to you about this time next year. Your wife, Sarah, will have a son.
Now? After all this time? I'm worn out, and my husband is old. Can I really know the joy of having a baby?
The Lord knew exactly what Sarah thought and said to Abraham,
Why did Sarah laugh? Is anything too hard for me? I will return to you at the appointed time next year. Sarah will have a son.
I didn't laugh.
Yes, you laughed.
Oof, Sarah seriously got called out there, but God wasn't angry with her. God was gracious to Sarah, and Sarah did become pregnant, and after some time, she gave birth to a baby boy.
God has given me laughter. Actually, everyone who hears about this is going to laugh along with us. I'm so old, but here I am taking care of a baby. What should we name him?
What about Isaac?
Of course, Isaac!
You're going to have a big family, little one.
As many as there are stars in the sky.